Hi guys, welcome back to another workout with Zoe and Emily. Today we are doing a glute and hamstring workout that's completely body weight. We are using resistance bands today to add a little bit more tension, but if you are following completely body weight, that's absolutely fine too. This is a real killer glute workout.
We're going to be doing 5 exercises in each round, 45 seconds per exercise, 1 minute rest between each round, and we're going to go for that 3 times. So grab your resistance bands and let's get straight into it.
Okay guys, so we're starting off with our banded sumo squat pulses. So get that resistance band just above the knee and then take a nice wide stance. You want to point your toes out slightly and then push your hips back and slowly bring yourself down until your thighs reach about parallel with the floor. And then once you're at that point, do a little pull. So that just means don't come all the way up, but almost just push up a centimetre or 2 and then come back down before pushing all the way back up to the top. And we're going to repeat this for the full 45 seconds. So try and keep it going. As you come down, you want to make sure your chest stays nice and upright the whole time. I find pushing through my heels really helps feel it a little bit more in my glutes too. So if you feel like you're coming onto your toes as you're finding it harder, then really make a conscious effort to push through your heels on each rep. Do that pulse, and then as you come back up to the top, then you can squeeze your glutes to help add tension on those glutes. Well done. Okay, next we're moving straight into our standing hip abductions. So keeping the band exactly where it is, you want to keep one foot on the floor and then you're going to go with your other leg all the way up, push against that band and then slowly bring it back down to start position. You're going to repeat this movement constantly. If you can try and keep the tension on the glutes by not stopping and standing completely in the middle on each rep, that will really help just increase the tension on those glutes, really feel the burn. It will kind of be more at the side of your glutes this one because your abductors are more at the side of your glute muscles. If you're doing what we're doing here and holding onto the wall, then just make sure that you don't lean too much into it as you do your reps, because the tendency would be to lean your body sideways so that you don't have to lift your leg as high, but then of course you won't be pushing your glutes as much. So just try and lean on the wall if you need to, but keep that body nice and upright rather than putting all your tension on the wall. Okay, swap legs and do the same with the other side. So keeping one foot planted and try and keep that tension as constant as you can. I know sometimes if the burn gets too much, you may need to just stop in the middle for a second or 2, but try and keep that movement going as consistently as possible for the full 45 seconds. We're obviously starting to feel the burn a little bit here, but push through, you're doing amazingly. Really good job guys, I'm sure you did amazingly. We're going to come down onto our hands and knees now on the mat, again keeping the resistance band just above the knee, and we're going to go for our donkey kicks. For this one, keep the movement nice and slow, don't rush it because that will mean that you can just keep a little bit more tension on your glutes. Try not to rest too much at the bottom. The tendency would be to bring your knees down and then stop before going for the next rep, but if you can, bring it down, and as soon as you get back to where you were at the start, straight back up to your next rep. We also find that in terms of mind to muscle connection, if you really think about squeezing that glute at the top of each rep before releasing back down to start position, it really helps put the tension onto your glutes. Another key point I would say for this exercise is to make sure that you don't arch your back on each rep. So something that we see quite commonly is that as you push your leg up to the top, your lower back wants to arch, but we want to avoid this. So keep your core tight. You can tuck your pelvis forward slightly so that your belly button's kind of pulling yourself up to the ceiling so that you don't arch your back, and just focus on the whole movement being in your hips so that you can activate your glute muscles rather than in your back. So taking those reps nice and slow, big squeeze at the top. You're nearly there guys, just another 25 seconds until the end of this exercise. Okay, coming on to lying onto your back now, we're going to get ready for our glute bridges, and we're going to add an abduction into this one just to add a little bit more tension on those glutes on each rep, as if we need it in this workout. So again, I find it really helpful if you push through your heels rather than your toes. I find that you get a lot more tension on your glutes by doing that. And come really nice and slow up to the top, big powerful abduction out, and then slowly back down to the middle with your knees back at the start position. Again, with this one, try not to let your lower back arch as you come down to the start position. You want to push your belly button to the floor as you come down so that you don't use your back muscles. You keep all the focus on those glute muscles. And then as you drive back up to the top, you want to push through those glutes, big squeeze at the top before coming slowly back down. Okay, back onto our knees for the banded hamstring curl. When I tell you these are an absolute burner, you're not on your own if these are killing you. But for these ones, you want to place the band over the top of the foot that's down and then on the bottom of the foot that's going to be pushing away, as you can see in the video here. And then you want to slowly come from both knees being on the floor to pushing that one working leg out and straightening it directly behind you. This is going to put a lot of tension on your hamstrings, especially on the way back in. So make sure you don't rush that movement coming back to the start position. Take it nice and slow so that those hamstrings can push against the band and work to try and keep you nice and still while you're doing it. For this one, the tighter the band that you have, the more tension you're going to be putting on those hamstrings. So if you are finding it a bit easy, then maybe go for a slightly tighter band if you can. And we're going to go onto our second leg now for another 45 seconds. So get that position with the bottom of your foot pushing against the band and nice and slowly lift that knee off the ground and push your leg directly back behind you. This isn't a donkey kick, we're pushing behind us to focus on our hamstrings. So if you're feeling it loads in your glutes, then just try and focus on not going too high up with your foot. You want to aim to go directly behind you. And just like the other exercises, we really want to make sure that we don't bend our lower back too much. You want to keep your core really nice and tight, and then you can keep your back and your core rigid and nice and still so that your hamstrings can do all the work moving that leg rather than your lower back. Coming into our final exercise of circuit 1 now, guys, we're going to go into our side steps. For this one, you want to keep your hips down for that whole movement. So try not to stand up in between each rep. Keep the movement going all the way through. So nice step, pushing against that band out to the side and then coming back into the middle. And not allowing yourself to come up to standing will just mean that your muscles keep the tension for the whole set. So this will just mean it burns. You can probably see me and Emily laughing at ourselves in this one because we are literally like, why did we put this exercise into the circuit? This is a killer. But it's really good for just putting tension on those muscles, trying to get yourself to progressive overload, as you'll most likely get to failure on this one.
Okay guys, well done. That is our first round complete. We're going to take a 60 seconds rest, so grab some water, give your glutes a second to recharge, and then we'll go again in a minute.
We're going to head into round 2. So the first exercise we're going to go into is our sumo squat pulses. So get your bands ready around your knees, and we're going to head into it in 3, 2, and 1. Let's go.
So we're straight back into our sumo squat pulses. Make sure that you're pushing through those heels, not coming all the way to the top on the pulse. That's just a little pulse to add to the tension. And then coming back to the start, squeezing your glutes before you go again. Try not to have too much of a break in between coming up to the top and then your next rep, because that will take some of the tension off your glutes. So keep the movement going, push through the pain, push through the burn. I promise it's going to pay off. We want to get straight ready to go for our standing hip abductions next. So remember, with these ones, you want to keep the tension the whole time. So try not to completely stop that foot and rest at the bottom of each rep. You actually want to keep it going. So never fully let that working leg come down and rest to standing. You want to keep the tension going, keep the burn on your abductors. You can do it, push through. Going to go for 45 seconds. You're already halfway through, and then we're going to swap onto the other leg. That's 45 seconds up, so get ready to swap onto the other leg and keep it going. Keep that tension the whole time. Try not to rest your leg at the bottom. Keep pushing. You can do this, guys. Last couple of reps, guys, and we're going to get down to the floor for our donkey kicks next. So keep that resistance band around just above your knees and get started. Remember, you want to keep the tension the whole time. Try not to bend that lower back. Keep your core really nice and tight. Big squeeze at the top and slowly lower back to start position. You've got it. You're doing amazingly. Keep pushing. That's 45 seconds, so get ready to swap that leg and go again on your other leg. You've got this, guys. Try and keep your body really nice and still and just focus all that tension in on your glutes. Okay, we're going to get ready for our glute bridges now. So keeping the band where it is, you want to lie down on your back and big squeeze at the top of each rep, going for your abduction and coming back down to start position. Remember that if you focus on that squeeze at the top of your rep, you're going to add tension to your glutes, and that's great because it's going to make it a little bit harder and hopefully push you along a little bit more. You've got this, keep pushing it. That's 45 seconds, so you want to come onto those hands and knees and go in for your hamstring curls next. So you want that resistance band around your feet again. This is the burner. Keep pushing, take the motion nice and slow. If you go too fast, then you'll probably miss a little bit of tension. So keep that motion nice and slow, really focus on the burn as you slowly bring your knee back in and then push it back out again. You'll probably find that the burn is just as big, if not more, on the way in rather than the way out on this movement. And that's because your hamstring's really working to keep it controlled as you bring that band back in towards your body. Keep it going, you got this. Getting ready to swap those legs. Let's go for it. Nice and slow, keep the tension on those hamstrings the whole time. You can do this, guys. Great job, guys. Finally, we're going to stand up. You want the resistance band above those knees again, and we're going to go for our walkouts. Remember, keep your body nice and low for this one. I know when it gets hard, the temptation is going to be to bring your body up to standing, but try and really keep yourself down because it's going to add loads more tension onto those muscles, especially onto your glutes. Keep it going. We're resting after this one, so push through the final exercise of this circuit.
We're going to take a minute, rest it off, grab a drink, and then we'll go back for our final round.
Okay guys, heading into our third and final round, we're going to head into sumo squat pulses to start with. When you're ready.
Final circuit, guys, we're moving on to our sumo squat pulses. So get that band above your knee and we're going to go for it. Try and keep that tension the whole time. This means not resting too much at the top. You want to go for each rep straight in. As soon as you come to standing again, straight into your next rep. This is really going to add lots of tension onto your muscles. You can do it. Big push. Remember, pushing through your heels, it's going to add a little bit more tension onto your glutes too. So really be intentional about keeping those heels planted into the ground. Okay guys, straight into our standing hip abductions. So keeping that band where it is, going straight in, try not to release too much tension. Don't stop in the middle of each rep, keep it going. As soon as you come in, push straight out for that next rep. You can do it. I know your legs are probably feeling super tired at this point, but keep pushing through. It's the last circuit, you can do it, guys. That's 45 seconds, so get ready to swap onto the other leg and go again and keep that tension the whole time. You can do it. Last few seconds, guys, and we're moving on to our banded donkey kicks next. So onto those hands and knees, and we're beginning to push out. I know that you're going to be tired, but try not to stop too much in between each rep. You want to keep the tension going the whole time. And as always, remember not to arch that back too much. Keep your core really nice and tight so that your body can stay super still and all the movement can go through your hips and into your glutes. Big squeeze at the top, nice and slow on the way down. You can do it, you got this. That's 45 seconds, so swap legs and you're going again with your donkey kicks on the other leg. You can do it, guys, keep pushing through. Same principles apply, really focus on the squeeze at the top of each rep so that we can get lots of tension on those glutes. Really great job, guys. We're coming into a glute bridge with a hip abduction again next, so keeping that band around just above your knee and pushing through your heels. Big push up, squeeze those glutes at the top and push those knees out against the band to add a bit of extra tension onto those glutes. You'll find the more you think about your glutes, the more you use them. So use that mind to muscle connection and really focus on thinking about using the glutes, focusing on tension and really allowing them to drive your hips up to the ceiling. Push through those heels if you're struggling to feel it in your glutes, and that should really help add the tension too. Last few seconds, guys, that was amazing. We're coming into our hamstring curls with the band next. So you want that band wrapped around your feet and you're going to come onto your hands and knees again and start to slowly push one leg out against the band. Remember, you want to go directly behind you rather than up. So it's not like a donkey kick. You're coming directly behind you, nice and slow. The more you slow down this movement, the more tension you're going to add onto your hamstrings, which is what we want. We want to make sure we're pushing and targeting those hamstrings. So take it nice and slow. Smashing it, guys. Let's swap round to the other leg when you're ready, and we're going to go same again, pushing, nice slow movement, really targeting those hamstrings. You've got it. Really great job, guys, well done. We're going to come into our side walks to finish off. So remember, keep your body nice and low on this one, and you're going to take a nice step against the band on each side, swap each time, really focusing on using those glutes to keep your body in that downward position. If you do feel super tired, like you're going to reach failure, then you can just stand up for a second and then try and get straight into the movement if you can do. But I know at the end of the circuit, this is an absolute burner. Me and Emily were absolutely dying at this point, so you're doing incredibly. Keep pushing through, we're nearly there. Last few seconds, guys, you smashed it.
Okay, that was an absolute killer. Well done if you made it this far. I don't know about you, but my glutes are absolutely burning. That was a killer. Do not underestimate the power of doing a banded workout at home. Obviously, having weights is great, but there's absolutely always something that you can do, and my glutes are going to be hurting for a couple of days after this one.
If you did enjoy this one, then make sure to hit that subscribe button and join us for our next one.